Hello everyone, I am Erika of beadingschool.com and you are watching No One Has to Bead Alone, my weekly open beading workshop to make sure that every beader all around the world has company. Today we are going to work on the blooming heart design that I designed specifically for International Beading Week that we are celebrating this week. Before we would start, please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. I would like to know if the technical stuff is all right. And Irene is so nice, very first comment, and she already lets me know. Can hear, can't see you. Can't see you. Uh-oh. Jessica says, hi everybody. Can you see me? Antoinette also says, sounds is great. Can you see me, ladies? Please tell no if anyone else has trouble seeing me. Okay. Also, then it seems that indeed we have a problem that we never had before. So, can you see me now? Can you see me and hear me now? You should be able to see my face at the moment and to hear me talking. I was just thinking about it today that for quite some time we didn't have an unexpected technical problem. It was a sign, I think, that it will happen, of course. But everyone is saying that you can see me and hear me. So, in only 3 minutes, problem solved. So, hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm really happy that you made the time. I hope that you also prepared your beads, and I can't wait to bead together with you the blooming heart. So, as I mentioned, it's International Beading Week this week, and it is the biggest celebration of our beautiful craft all around the world, all year around. I'm happy to be one of the ambassadors of International Beading Week. And International Beading Week is organized by the Bead Workers Guild, who are also responsible for the wonderful event where I was lucky to meet, for example, Claire and Angelica Desir and Mekta Bozo at the Great British Bead Show. Every year there are lots of happenings, lots of bead togethers, lots of tutorials to enjoy, and lots of discussions and beady things to learn. And also, it is a perfect time to invite our friends to try this beautiful hobby together with us. Earlier this week, on Tuesday, we spent some time together to talk about how can we make it easier for our friends who are about to start beading just now. What kind of tools, bead shapes, colors can we recommend to them? And I was very happy to hear that it was helpful. Also, I would like to thank everyone who shared her opinion. Today we are going to work on the project that was inspired by the theme of International Beading Week, which is Spread the Love. In the meanwhile, the tutorial is already available at beadingschool.com. You can download it from this subsection, which is called No One Has to Bead Alone. You can also access it directly from noonehastobedalone.com. And since this is my gift to every beader because of because of International Beading Week, then it has only a gift version with a zero price, and it will stay online forever and ever until beading school is here for you, and I don't know, another 100 years. So yeah, it's waiting for you at noonehastobedalone.com. It was inspired by the theme of International Beading Week, and it spread the love that I mentioned. And originally, I actually wanted to use a heart-shaped cabochon that was already sitting here on my bead mat. I was also thinking about all the beautiful hearts, beaded hearts that I saw from fellow designers made with right angle weave and cubic right angle weave. But then I was thinking, like, I want to take a completely different approach. Stay with bead weaving instead of embroidery. Fit in as many sparkle, as many cabochons and crystals as possible. And it was a bit of a challenge to myself to create a heart while not using anything that would be heart-shaped. So this is the result that you can see on the picture. I will put on actually a bigger picture so you can see it better. And I hope that you like it. I beaded already like 5 different color combinations, and it's super fast. So I hope that I will also see many different variations made by you. And Rachel has something nice to share. She says, I asked my husband to pick the colors. He chose heliotrope for the navettes. And that sounds interesting, Rachel. And I'm curious what is the rest looking like? Claire sees a little face in the heart. Okay, Claire, now I can't unsee it. It's a bit like E.T. I was hoping for a beautiful heart, but all I can see now, the big eyes. Okay, that's it for the romantic mood today. And spread the love. Let's be the UFO. Or like an extraterrestrial being. But at least, like, you need the same materialist for both of them. Whatever you see, if you see a face or if you see a heart, you will need the same. So let's check into the materialist together to make sure that we have everything that we need. So for one motif, you will need 2 pieces of Preciosa chatons in the 8mm size. For earrings, of course, you will need to double the amount that I am talking about, but you can actually make this motif also into a pendant. So it's up to you how you would like to finish it. Anyway, so 2 pieces of 8mm Preciosa chatons, and then in the middle, 3 pieces of navettes in the 5 times 10mm size, the tiniest that we are working usually, and it needs to sit in a metal claw. And this is a shape that we are playing with a lot at beading school, and one of my favorites actually. You will also need, for one motif, 1 piece of 4mm bicone beads and 14 pieces of 3mm fire polished beads. You will also need 14 pieces of true to fire polished beads, 4 pieces of Miyuki Slender bugles, 1 or 2 colors of round 15 seed beads. It's up to you if you would like to combine 2 like I did, or you would like to go for a simpler look with only 1 color. And then, depending on how you would like to finish the jewel, you can add your metal findings and personalizations. So in my case, it was an earring hook and then a cup chain hanging from the bottom. And let's see if you have any questions about this. Tony is asking, can you find these items in our last Fuchsia Academy box? Actually, this is pretty much the only exception during this month, because of International Beading Week, that this is different. Pretty much everything that we bead during No One Has to Bead on lesson can also be found in the Beading School Academy boxes. For International Beading Week, I went for a little bit wider stash, which was from the previous one. Actually, from the previous one, you can have the navettes and everything, but not in the sirens this time. For the next 2 months, everything is Beading School Academy team box again. And someone says the 3 eyes are because you need 3 eyes to keep track of the screen or messages and your bead mat. Yeah, something like that. That was cute. So, if you don't have any more questions today, then let's start beading. I will switch now to my hand camera. And again, please let me know if you can still see me and hear me. It's always tricky to switch. So I hope that everything will be okay. So this is my bead mat. You should be able actually to see my earring and hear me talking. And meanwhile, I am showing you also the back side, and I will also show you my other combinations. This was my original, this pink and yellowish version with white opal AB Preciosa chatons. Ariane, thank you for letting me know. Then I really, really like this blue version. I think this came out nice. Bit of silver, bit of gold, lots of blue. There is also a green one, but not your typical green, maybe with avocado color. And this is very unusual for me because this is mostly gray and a bit of crystal AB and transparent. But I'm always telling you that try to step out of your comfort zone because there might be beautiful things. So, of course, sometimes I'm also exploring what are the possibilities. So I will now look into the comments and then we will start beading. While we are beading, I would like to ask you to stick to questions which are about what we are doing at the moment. And then at the end, I am again very happy to answer your general questions. And Cindy is asking, how do you attach the cup chain? It is actually a special piece of cup chain which has a loop on top of it, so it can be attached in the same way as glass drops in a metal setting. I have a previous coffee time with Erica and also a blog post showing you how do you attach metal findings to components. So you can find it on the Beading School blog if you go back a little bit. Susan says she loves the combo with the blues. Thank you. Eve is asking for the original version colors. Eve, it's at the moment we have like bead bundles for all the colors that I was showing, but unfortunately the original is sold out. Please sign up to the waiting list, and you can even send us an email to tell that, yeah, you are really determined, you would love to have it, and we will do our best to restock it as soon as possible. And also all the earring hooks, everything is available at the Beading School bead shop. This pretty one with the drop-shaped crystal, it actually comes with turquoise, with green, with a transparent, and with this dark option too. So let's start beading. I will also need my illustrations. Cindy is asking for the cup chain with a loop. Yes, indeed, it is available in the Beading School bead shop. If you look into the inspiration part and art deco it was, then you will find it. In step 1, we are going to create a circle, the base of the first bezel. I will pick up 7 pieces of the 3mm fire polished beads. So it's 4, 5, 6, and 7. I will put them aside for a little bit. I have my 7 pieces of fire polished beads, and then I bead through them one more time through everything to create a circle. And usually I say directly go through the very first one for a third time too. However, while I was making all these color combinations, then I found that I can create a lot sturdier bezel in this case if I tie a knot with my working end and with the tail thread before I would be adding more beads. So I tied 2 simple knots at the same place when the tail thread and the working end were meeting, and only then I bead through the very first bead one more time. I gently pull my thread so the knot disappears in that fire polished bead, and then the 2 ends of my thread are hanging from the same fire polished bead in opposite directions. In the second step, I'm adding round 15 seed beads in between the fire polished beads. So exiting the fire polished bead, I pick up a round 15. I bead through the next fire polished bead. And I repeat the same again and again, one by one, adding round 15s in between the fire polished beads. Third one, fourth one, fifth, sixth, and the seventh last one. Usually, again, this differs a little bit from my usual beading technique. I'm usually saying that continue until you are exiting the second or the third bead that you have added in the current step. However, since the knot is holding the base of the bezel well and it's already sturdy, then it is enough if you bead through the very first round 15 that you have added in between the fire polished ones. By the way, this is a super cute, easy bezel. So if you would like to play with it and adjust it for bigger cabochons, then it should also be possible. Now I'm switching to the second color of my round 15 seed beads, and I will also need a bunch of true to fire polished beads. Please keep every finger crossed for me that I don't drop any of the fire polished beads, because I believe I have 15 pieces and I need 14 for the earring. And if two will go missing, then I can't finish it. So I need to be super careful. Now my thread is hanging from the round 15, and I pick up 3 pieces of round 15s in my second color, a true to fire polished bead, and 3 more round 15s. I bead towards my original exit point in this step, but through the round 15 that I picked up previously. So please note how the thread path is drawn on the illustration, and please look at it carefully, what I am doing now. So my thread is hanging from left to right. I am beading through the previous round 15 again from left to right, and when I pull my thread, then the new beads form a little half circle in between the 2 round 15s, and I finish off this step by beading back through 2 out of the 3 round 15s that I have just picked up. Not all 3, only the very last 2. Please let me know if this is clear. I would like to make sure that you are comfortable with this type of bezel. And Schnips says, I have the red version. It's nice. I'm super happy that you like it, and thank you so much for going for the bundle. The red one is my favorite too. Aw, Sherry, thank you for being so kind. Okay, Joe and Ariana say that it's going well, so let's go forward. So now, exiting, okay, Sherry is asking, can you tell me how tight is your tension? I'm a pretty tight beader. There should be never thread visible in between your beads, but I'm not like the bead breaker who would be able to break beads by simply pulling the thread. So as my Swedish friend say, lagom, not too much, not too little. With a little practice, you will feel, Sherry, how you should hold it. I can promise. So now I pick up 1 more round 15, 1 through 2, and 3 more round 15s. So 5 beads on my needle. And again, I bead from left to right through the previous round 15. So 2 round 15s will be part of the first and the new half moon 2. And again, I bead back through the last 2 round 15s. Now I need to repeat this a few times. So I pick up 1 round 15, 1 through 2, 3 more round 15s. I bead from left to right through the previous round 15 between the fire polished beads, and then I bead back through the last 2 round 15s that I have added. Again the same, round 15 through to 3 more round 15s, beading through the round 15 in between the fire polished ones, and beading back through the last 2 beads. How is it going, ladies? How is your bezel coming together? I have 2 more repetitions to do. So as you can see, this is a very quick bezel. That's why I dared to design even a bit more complicated looking jewel for International Beading Week and today's No One Has to Bead Alone, because I thought okay, even if this might look a little bit more complicated, in fact, this type of bezel builds up so fast. You blink twice and you already have it. Facebook user friend says, going very well. I'm really happy to hear that. And I finished my last repetition. All I need to do is beading back through the last 2 round 15s. So you should finish step 4 like this, that the last fire polished bead is without a half moon shaped decoration on top of it. We will take care of it during step 5. In step 5, I need to pick up only 3 new beads, a round 15, a true 2, and another round 15. Now I bead down through the very first 2 round 15s that I picked up. It was still like step 3. And I bead through the round 15 that is sitting in between the fire polished beads, in my case the golden ones. And I get into position for the next step, again beading back through these last 2 beads I went through, and also through a round 15 and a true 2. So not round 15 through to round 15, I bead back only until I am exiting the true 2. This is how it should look like at the moment. And Sherry says, hi Sherry, this is such a nice bezel. I'm happy that you like it, Sherry. Loretta is babysitting, so she's watching now. Then happy beading later, Loretta. And let's see what's happening in step 6. In step 6, I'm inserting the Preciosa cabochon in the middle. And at this moment, it might look like that, Erica, this is loose, you did something wrong. But please trust me, we will take care of this bezel and it will be beautiful and tight and secure in a step or 2. So, but I will already hold it down with my thumb before I would be adding more beads. And in step 7, I'm connecting the true 2 beads by adding round 15s in my first color in between the fire polished ones. So I'm exiting a true 2. I picked up a round 15 in my first color, and then I bead directly through the next true 2. And indeed, as Ariane says, chatons, it's absolutely secure when we will finish this step. So I just need to do again and again the same. So I pick up around 15 in my first color, and then I bead into the true 2. Ariane, did you finish your first earring already, by the way? You have the chaton sitting securely, so maybe you see already the full piece on your bead mat. Let us know. So this is indeed how it will look like. And the top of the bezel is tightly clutching the chaton. And at this moment, if you would like to, if you feel that you want to add a bit more security, you can bead all around the true twos and the round 15s in between one more time. Sandra says, love this, it's beautiful. Thank you, Sandra. And I can't wait to see your version. Is, by the way, everyone beading an earring, or is someone making a pendant maybe? I'm curious. For me, the shape automatically, it appeared in front of my eyes as an earring, but it is also possible to make it into a pendant, a very cute one. After you finished, if you wanted to repeat the thread pass, you need to bead. You finish by beading through a true two, and then through 3 seed beads. In my case, the second color to get on the bottom level, and then I finish this step by beading through the round 15 in my first color, sitting in between the 3mm fire polished beads. So the first bezel is done. And Donna says, bracelet queen Donna. Oh, I have a bracelet drawn out. Hard to believe, I know. Dear Donna, I'm on my toes. Can't wait to see it. And lovely beaders, we have an interview, a face-to-face interview, a little bit older one, on the Beading School blog with Donna, and about her bracelet art. Make sure to check it out, please. And Malia says, I have 2 purple and 1 white navette left from Sibylla, so I might make 1 pendant to use those up, and then earrings in Lucia colors. What a good idea, Malia. Indeed, if you have 2 different colors of navettes, you can mix them up. And Nicolene is here, and also Elena is here. Ooh, and Ariana is using a pure chaton. That's also a good idea. And let's see what's happening in step 8. We're going to add the first navette. So I put it down so you can see it better. I clean my bead mat so nothing is blurring the vision. And as you can see, I am exiting the round 15 in between the fire polished beads, and if I'm holding my navette this way, then I bead down through the left hand side hole. I pick up around 15 in my first color, and I bead back through the navette, and then again I bead through the very first round 15. Well, I bead through the round 15 that I was exiting at the beginning of this step. And when I pull my thread, then the navette will still sit tightly just next to the bezel. I repeat my thread pass. So down through the navette, left side hole, beading through the round 15, holding the navette, beading up through the navette, and then beading one more time through the round 15, sitting in between the fire polished beads. So now the connection is secure. This is how it looks like at the moment. And Elena says, I use an 8mm Rivoli. It also sits perfectly in the bezel and looks fantastic. Elena, thank you so much for sharing it and trying it. Now I bead through a fire polished bead and the next round 15. I pick up around 15 and I attach it with 2 tiny square stitches to the round 15 that I was starting out, that I am exiting before picking up the new one. So it means that I'm beading through the new one again, beading through the old one again, and then I continue through a fire polished bead and one more round 15. And now I will add one more navette. And hi, Maktab. I bead through, now the whole navette will stand vertically, and I bead through the top hole of the navette from left to right. It really helps to have the picture in front of you to imagine how the navettes need to be arranged, and then you will know when to bead through the top hole and bottom hole and left hole and right hole, so it makes it a lot easier. For me now, after picking up the navette, it was time to pick up one more round 15. I bead back through the navette, and then I bead through the round 15 one more time, which is sitting in between the fire polished beads and will be holding the second navette. So there are now 2 navettes attached to the bezel, but only their single hole, not the second holes yet. And between the navettes, you have this tiny round 15 without anything else yet. And if you would join the 2 navettes now, it would also be possible to create a cute little flower. So that's another possibility for you to explore after no one has to bead alone. Maybe you can bead a cute earring, a flower-shaped cute earring, maybe even by adding a drop at the bottom. Imagine it, I don't have a drop without a finished earring now, but imagine this from the bottom, maybe a bit smaller would work better. Another possibility for you. So this is how after step 9 your motif should look like. And let's look into step 10 now. This is about the second navette that we were attaching. You need to have strong connection for this motif to make sure that it's not floppy. You will basically repeat the thread pass through the navette, round 15, back through the navette, one more time through the original round 15 that is holding this, pull, and then again finish it off by beading through the navette and beading through the round 15 from the bottom towards the top. So this is it. Very important to have it tight. And then we will start building the second bezel. Ariana says this flower is really cute. I hope I will also see flowers after the weekend, not only hearts actually. Susan also finds it cute. Robin says she can't keep up. Dear Robin, this is no rush. This is no competition. All the videos, they stay online on Facebook, on YouTube, on my own profile. So if you need more time to absorb all the tricks and knowledge and to look into the thread passes a bit more, no worries. Afterwards you can go back, stop the video, make the video slower. On YouTube you can do that, so you can learn to bead it in your own pace comfortably. And if you have any questions, then the best is if you take a good clear picture of your piece, you and post it in the beading school club. The best is if you write there that I got until step 5 comfortably, I'm having this and this trouble on step 6, for example, and that helps us and also fellow beaders to help you. So no worries for beading slower. And Susan also says, I like to watch first, then refer back to the video as I am working. And that is also a good way of learning to bead new beaded motifs. But let's continue now with the next bezel. I will need to switch my batch of illustrations because I can always upload 10 and then another 10. So this is step 11 where we are going now, and I will need 7 more fire polished beads. So exiting from that round 15 that is holding the navette, I pick up 7 3mm fire polished beads. This again needs to be a tight circle. So I let all my beads drop just after the round 15, and then I bead through all of the beads one more time. This is how we usually start a bezel. I pull my thread tight, and then I bead through the first fire polished bead one more time. And this might be already something that you recall, because in fact we will continue in the same way as with the first bezel. Oh, Tony, thank you so much, and I'm glad that you like the way how I am teaching. It was a process. I'm drawing instructions for now 15 years, I think, and many of our beader friends who are beading with us week by week through No One Has to Bead Alone, they could see also lots of progress and experimenting how we together found what's working best for the video. So I'm glad that you are happy with it now. Now that we have the base, the fire polished beads of that second bezel, I can add the round 15s in between the fire polished beads, and it will be nearly the same with one exception as in step 2. So I will first add 6 pieces of round 15s in the usual way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I don't need the 7th new bead because I will use the round 15 that is holding the navette cabochon too. So instead of picking up the 7th new round 15, I bead through that tiny bead that is already attached, and then also through the next fire polished one and round 15. So this is the base of the bezel. Cindy says, this is interesting. I have imagined the two bezels being done and then putting it together. Dear Cindy, I am kind of a lazy beader when it comes to securing thread ends. So many times, even if I'm beading bracelets, then you will find two types of instructions in one set of tutorials explaining you how to start and then how to bead the second motif without having to add new thread. Usually it's possible. And now we will do the same bezel as before, so that you already know. 3 round 15s. Fingers crossed that I still have all my true twos. So 3 round 15s, true 2, 3 more round 15s. And in this case, I will, even if my thread is hanging from right to left, I will continue in the same way as before, as with the first bezel, because I simply like to bead this way. And then make a little difference when adding the last half circle over the last fire polished bead. So I'm doing the same as with the very first bezel. And Eve, in the meanwhile, says this, my teen daughter loves listening to you teach and now wants to try beading. Dear Eve, that is so good news. And you can have a beautiful hobby together if she tries it and likes it. Irene is asking about the specific colors of round 15s, and as I don't have the PDF open now, I would like to ask you to post your question please in the club, or to write us to info@beadingschool.com, because at the moment I can't open the PDF to look into it. I'm sorry about that. On the drone instructions that I am using now, I don't have the text, so unfortunately I can't check it right away. Okay, Rena says she asked something else. It says in step 9, it says you use a size 15 to attach the navette. In previous step was 15B. Were we supposed to switch 15s? I'm sorry, but I thought, and I understand it in the way that there was a mistake in A and B colors. The navette is held with a size 15 indeed, and it should be the first color, the color that is sitting in between the fire polished beads. Did I understand it well? Or please someone help me out. I'm adding now another loop over the fire polished bead. And now I'm adding the last part over the fire polished bead. So I pick up only round 15 through to round 15, and I bead down through 2 round 15s from the very first combination. I bead through the round 15 in between the fire polished beads, and then back until I am exiting a through 2. Irene says that there might be a typo. I'm sorry about it. Sometimes it happens, unfortunately, even if always at least 2 of us are reading the instructions. And I'm happy to look into it when this is finished. So, as Ariane says, the second navette is secured with the same color 15, which we used in between the fire polished beads of the bezel. Exactly, because that one will become one of the round 15s, sitting in between the fire polished ones on the bottom of the bezel. So in my case, those are golden colored. And then the ones which I pick up together with the true 2 beads, those are the second color. So now I'm adding again the first color on the top in between the true 2 beads. So 7 pieces of round 15s in between the 7 true 2s. Corinne says and Sherry that they love the design. I'm super happy about that. And once when we are done with the true 2, with the second bezel, there is so little left that this is actually super quick compared to the size and compared to the intricacy of the pattern. You will see. Do we actually have beaders out there who might have already finished beading this? Beading at least one motif? I am adding now the 7th round 15, and then I will repeat my thread path one more time. So the second bezel end is nice and tight now. We have 2 navettes and 2 8mm, both of the 8mm chatons in place. Now it's time to attach the third chaton and another seed bead, sitting identically to this one here. So to do that, I need to exit this round seed bead just after the one in the bottom row that is holding the navette. So I am exiting a true 2 bead, and I bead down through 3 round 15s, and I bead through a round 15 in between fire polished beads in the bottom circle. There should be no empty round 15 in between the navette connection and in between my exit point. I pick up a new round 15 and I attach it with 2 tiny square stitches to the round 15 that I am exiting now. And hi Sarah and Alex. So I attached the round 15 and now I bead through a fire polished bead and another round 15. And now I need to attach the third navette. If I'm holding it this way, then I should bead down through the right hand side hole. The 3 navettes will be meeting in the middle with their empty holes, and we will connect the open holes shortly. So now I am at the bottom. I pick up around 15 and then I bead up through the navette again. I bead through the round 15 in between the fire polished beads. I repeat the thread pass, so down through the navette, through beading through the round 15, holding the navette, up through the navette, one more time through the round 15 that I was starting out from before picking up the navette. So I have all 5 cabochons in place now, only that they look weird and the navettes are not connected, but we will take care of it in a moment. So I need to get in position for that by beading down through the navette and then through the round 15, holding the navette from right to left. And Sherry says, in the meanwhile, I made a pendant from this a couple days ago when the tutorial was available. Green turquoise, and I love it. Such a beautiful design and really pretty quick. Sherry, please share the photo. It must be beautiful in turquoise and green. So now for this part, I will already use my Slender bugles too. So I pick up a Slender bugle bead around 15 and another Slender bugle. I bead through the round 15, which is holding the very first navette that I added. If you look at your little heart, then this should be at the left side hole of the navette. So I bead through that round 15. I carefully pull everything together. As Ariana says, this is indeed fiddly, but it will come together. Now I bead back through the 3 new beads. So Slender bugle, round 15, Slender bugle, and I bead one more time through the round 15 on the very right, at the very right. Be careful when you are retracing the thread pass through the Slender bugles because they are a bit fragile. You don't want to break them. And I finish this step by beading down through a Slender bugle and around 15. So the heart is very, very close to being finished. In step 16, I'm adding the bicone and some more round 15s. So exiting the round 15 in the middle, I pick up a bicone 4 mm size and 2 pieces of round 15s. I bead through the empty hole of the navette on the right hand side. I bead through the round 15 that is in between the two navettes. I bead through the empty hole of the navette in the middle. Now, through the round 15 in between the first and second navette, I bead down through the empty hole of the first navette, and then I pick up my last new round 15 for now, and I bead down through one round 15 and the bicone. I pull my thread carefully and I bead through the round 15 in between the bugles from right to left again. So now you can really see the heart as it's coming together. Facebook user friend is asking, how long are the bugles? I always use the 6mm Slender bugle from Miyuki. If you download the tutorial from noonehas2beadalone.com or you visit the page noonehas2beadalone.com, then you will find all the detailed specifications about the sizes, also with links that take you directly to the beads that you need to make sure that you have everything right what you need for the tutorial. I will retrace now the thread path. So I bead up through a bicone and one round 15. I start towards the right, so beading through one more round 15, navette, round 15, navette, round 15, navette, and then 2 more round 15s, bicone bead, and again the round 15 from right to left that is sitting in between the bugles, especially when your beads are filling up with thread. Make sure not to chip the bugles that you are working with. In step 17, you can attach the drop if you are using one for your motif. I'm not going to do it now because we did it several times before. If you need more help, then please find the tutorial on the Beading School blog or in between the Coffee Time with Erica recordings on the Beading School blog. I will finish off the top part of the heart now, and to do that I need to bead on the edge of the motif. Carefully when you are beading through the round 15 in between the navette and the bezel that is actually holding the navette. And I'm beading until I am exiting the round 15 closest to the navette. Now I will add bugle beads on top too. It will be the same way as on the bottom. So I pick up around 15. I pick, a bugle bead around 15 and another bugle bead. And I attach these three beads to the round 15 exactly on the opposite side of the motif. I bead back through bugle, round 15, bugle, and I bead one more time through the round 15 that I was exiting before adding the new beads. And to get into position, to attach the ear wire, I need to bead up through a bugle and around 15. And my heart is done now. My blooming heart is blooming. So you can add your findings and personalizations in the usual way. I hope that you liked beading this together with me, ladies. I hope that I will see after the weekend many different variations that were born on your bead mat, and that you will enjoy making it in all kinds of different colors. Please let me know now. It's also again time to answer all kinds of general questions if you would like to ask about something else. Jen is asking about attaching the ear wires. Jen, can you please ask your question in the Beading School Club, and then we will link the tutorial for the blog. But I have to say I will get back to it on Monday morning because it's Friday evening on my side now. So please post your questions, and I would love to ask fellow Beading School Club members to help out if you find the link, or otherwise me or one of my Beading School colleagues will help you on Monday morning when we are back after the weekend. Robin says, it's lovely. I'm determined to finish it. Glad to hear. Erica says, this was fun. Wonderful. So, ladies, next week we are going to meet again for coffee time with Erica. And after talking last week about the beginnings and what kind of shapes and sizes do I recommend when you start out to build up your beading stash, this Tuesday I would like to discuss shaped beads with you. For beginner beaders, I recommend always to start with one-hole beads and more traditional shapes, but now I think it's a great opportunity to talk about all kinds of shaped beads that are out there. Which one do I find easier to work with? Which ones are challenging? Which ones might be like absolute no-goes for me, if there are ones like that. And then next week on Friday, we will have a special guest, Chloe of Pink Hot Jewelry, and she will bring to us as a gift the small mandala version of her Om Shanti motif. You can bead it directly from your Beading School Academy team box, or Chloe will also have an extended tutorial available on her website for the full mandala version. We have bead bundles available in this color for Chloe's Om Shanti waiting for you at beadingschool.com, and I would love to remind you of the special deal that we are having this week at Beading School. So both Veronka and me, we were super busy. Veronka is one of my colleagues in the Beading School creative team. We were super busy drawing instructions. She was drawing her bubbles pendant. I was drawing my Ula set, which also consists of a bracelet, tiny earrings, and these statement earrings that you are making. And both tutorials can be your gift if you place an order at the Beading School website for a specific sum. I actually wrote it all down in an article on the blog, so you can get a reminder of the specific sums if you look into the article. I'm posting the link now. It's 39 euros, by the way, for Veronka's bubble pendant, and then it's 69 euros if you would love to get both of these tutorials. On the blog, you can also find the amounts in pounds and in US dollars. And if you qualify, then we will be in touch next Wednesday with your gift, and the deadline to place the order to receive the tutorial or tutorials as gifts is next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Central European Time, coffee time with Erica. Carol, in the meanwhile, thank you so much for looking up the link for Jen. That's very, very sweet of you and very helpful. Thank you, everyone, for this lovely time together, and wishing you all a beautiful, peaceful, creative weekend. See you all on Tuesday. Bye bye.